Hey everyone, Rudinix with Valor Ridge. What we're going to talk about in this video today is, making your rifle simple and something that works for you. Let's go ahead and get started. A lot of times when there's information out there, there's a lot of input. There's a lot of information out there about, firearm stuff, whether that's equipment, whether that's firearms themselves, pistol, rifle, holsters, slings, lights. It's abysmal. You want to go into a black hole of nothing, go on some of those internet forums. And sometimes there's just a lot of confusion out there. So what I want to do in this video is talk about, things that I look for on my rifle, and hopefully this will help you. My approach to firearms and firearms training is simplicity and basics and fundamentals, because that's all that really counts. Like all that other stuff is fluff. It's a distraction. You've heard the phrase sizzle and no steak. A lot of these guys will have fancy equipment, expensive equipment, and can't shoot a 10-cent group. So what we're going to focus on is we're going to help simplify things for you. Now, whether you're a person that's new to firearms, or whether you're somebody that is been around them and maybe you want a little bit more knowledge, that's fine. Try to focus on knowledge on this channel as opposed to just information. So full stop here, my background in this is military. I was an 0351 assaultman in the Marine Corps, carried an M16, I was a police officer after that, carried patrol rifle there. I've been teaching firearms now for over 12 years, ran my own business for 10. So, you pretty much get to see a lot of possibilities of equipment and combinations. We get to see, things that work, things that don't work. We get to see any combination of firearm and optics and mags and equipment, chest rigs, plate carriers, any combination you can possibly imagine. There's a good chance that I've probably seen it over there. So I've been on the side of the firing range now for over 25 years, professionally and personally, and it's certainly been teaching for half that time. So what we're going to talk about in this video is, what a rifle serves us, like what purpose does that serve us, and then, figure out what we can do. So, one thing that you can do, guys, I do have information about this in my books. I got American Rifleman book. I also have the Well Regulated. That's the newest one that I just put out last year. And also, we do newsletters on the Patreon. So if you want to be a part of that, go ahead. And before I even start rolling into this, guys, I looked at my channel analytics, and the thing is that the people that watch a video, it's like as many people not subscribed as there are subscribed. So all I'll ask is if you've watched my videos before, or if you've watched more than a few of them, subscribe, because that helps us get the content out there. And quite honestly, it helps with the algorithm, and it really helps us, reach people out there. Because quite honestly, there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise out there when it comes to information about firearms. So let's get started with this. Now, one thing you want to look for in a rifle, guys, is, and I found this across the board, and this happens in nearly every rifleman class that we have, is that guys have a lot of stuff on their rifle. And sure enough, by the lunch on the first day, people start taking stuff off the rifle, because it's different when you're holding your rifle during the training class versus, I just picked this up out of my car and walked to the shooting bench. There's, even a pound makes a difference. Even a half a pound makes a difference with this stuff. And somebody who's walked hundreds, if not thousands of miles with a rifle at one point in time for another, I can tell you guys, and the old adage is that ounces become pounds, pounds become pain. And the old adage, less is more, is absolutely true in this case. So I'm going to show you a couple illustrations of things on a rifle to keep it simple and keep it lightweight. So this rifle right here, guys, is a Colt. And this is an AR-15E2 government carbine. Now, this is an older school rifle. You can notice the thin, small, round handguards here, and you'll also notice the pencil barrel. So why do I like a pencil barrel on a rifle? Well, for starters, it's light. This is what the original M16 barrel was a lot thinner. The newer ones are much thicker, especially when they went to the A2 rifle and then later to the M4A1. It became a much thicker barrel. Now, a lot of times guys will say, man, that's the rifle that Special Forces guys use. That's the rifle SOCOM uses, so it must be really good for me, right? Well, no, because you're not going to be doing 8, 9, 10 magazine dumps to break contact and need that extra thickness on the barrel so the steel doesn't fail and explode right there. which is why they needed it. They were using the gun completely outside of operational capabilities, okay? So no, you don't need a SOCOM thick barrel because we're not gonna be doing 8 and 9 and 10 mag dumps. Oh, but it's extra weight, I can handle it, I'll just go to the gym, right? Well, I go to the gym all the time. And you know, the thing is, I don't want to carry that stuff around when I don't have to, because there's being smart about something and there's doing it just because you want your man card. And if carrying a heavy rifle makes you want to have a man card, then maybe we got other issues at play. So one thing I will recommend to you is, I want you to understand, guys, that less is more. So on this rifle, I got something simple here, right? I've got a simple white light right here. I got a simple sling, 2-point sling, and of course the simple iron sights, because those things never shut off, they never fog up, the battery never dies, and they never come out of adjustment, right? You got to really try to get this thing to stop. With this rifle right here, I've got a sub 6 pound rifle. I think it's about 5.8 pounds. So that really helps. You know, if you look at the terrain we live in mountains and steep stuff and gravel roads and all kind of stuff, and really great inside the house too, traveling, you know, we go across the country and stuff like that. You know, it's really easy to just pack in and just get going with life. I can do anything with this rifle, anything. I can do close quarters work with it. I can do it daytime, nighttime, because I do have a white light on there. And I can take this rifle pretty reliably out to a 1/4 mile. And in fact, I'm gonna do a part 2 of this video about this rifle and show you that this rifle can easily go out to a 1/4 mile. And I'll show you guys with this rifle, with this and just simple ammo, it's a non-problem to have. So this would be one example of a simple carbine that you can do. Lightweight barrel, small thin handguards to do it, and you need a place to attach a white light. There's other stuff you can put on your rifle, but once again, you know, is that something that's going to help us, or is that something that is the cool factor? I don't know. I've been doing this a long time, and I can tell you that a white light and a sling works good in about darn near any situation that you'll ever find yourself in. All right, so this would be an example of a more, you know, modern rifle, if you will. It's an FN. You know, they may know a thing or two about building ARs, M16s, M4s, because they do a pretty good job. This is certainly, once again, a simple rifle for me. Once again, got my fixed irons on there. And what you'll notice the difference between this one and the rifle that I just showed you is this one's got more of the lightweight modern rail on it, so you can, you know, adjust your front side of your light wherever you'd like to fit your shooting style. You'll notice mine's in the exact same spot as it was on the other one. My hand placement's on the exact same as it was on the other one. Stocks, same exact length as the other one, and that gives me consistency across the board. Now, if you want to attach something else here, like an optic, you know, a lot of guys will put a red dot or a, you know, variable power scope or a fixed power scope on there. That's fine if your eyes require that. Or you prefer that sight picture, that's fine. But once again, this is lightweight. This rifle, once again, barely over 6 pounds. It's certainly lightweight. I can do pretty much anything with this rifle. So once again, white light, sling, very simple. You know, I can use this inside and outside of vehicles, inside or outside a house, inside or outside structures. I push this rifle out to 500 yards with 0 issues whatsoever. Even with that, you know, ball ammo and all the wind calls and all that other stuff. Even without a wind probe. Even without a wind probe out there at 500 yards, we're able to make hits at 500 yards. So, you know, pretty simple stuff with good fundamentals. This would be another example if you wanted a more modern look. If you wanted a more modern rail system, you could do that. So another example here, you know, you can use if you want to do optics. I always have irons on there, as you can see. You know, red dot quality, you know, red dot that you want to get that's proven. Once again, white light. This one's the older quad rail style. Some people prefer that because they like a little bit more to hang on to when they're firing this. This is great for heat. You know, the rifle doesn't really heat up and burn my hands, you know, in a system like this. But once again, you're going to notice fixed front sight, irons on there. And once again, butt stock is in the exact same place. So this rifle here will get me anywhere. You know, I had a friend when I shot this rifle a few years ago, and I took it out to 400 plus yards, and I think it held a 4-inch group. And that was witnessed certainly by a friend of mine, Clay. He can tell you about old Webster, right? This rifle's name is Webster, and that's a whole nother inside joke about why I named it that. So, thing is, guys, different barrel. You know, you can see it. This is the M4 barrel profile right here, a little bit thicker than that pencil barrel. But if you notice about this rifle, what it is it's got a very good balance. It's got excellent balance just like that. And that tells me that I can easily stay on balance, swing from where I need to do it. And quite honestly, it gives me my same reference point that I have on my rifles right here. That stays the same no matter what position I'm in. Now, one thing you're going to notice, guys, is that I prefer lighter weight guns. I don't need a big thick barrel, don't need a bunch of stuff on the rifle to make hits, all right? We can make hits pretty consistently with good fundamentals with simple equipment. But no matter what rifle that you're using, we want to make sure that we have iron sights on there. I see all these guys, you know, post stupid stuff up all the time. Oh, I don't need iron sights on my rifle. Modern optics are so reliable, I don't need it. Well, I can tell you something right now. You are setting yourself for failure. That's like jumping without a reserve parachute, man. And if you don't think that you need iron sights on your rifle, you know, I can tell you from firsthand experience that I have had an optic fail on me in combat. I have had one fail, about to make entry into a building. We're doing building sweeps down in New Orleans during Katrina, and I had an optic fail, and I had to do everything else for the rest of that entire time I was down there with iron sights. And if you don't think that your optic will fail, and that's just a battery failure, let alone it getting hit, let alone it getting peppered with gravel, let alone with any of that stuff, you know, you'd be absolutely insane not to have iron sights on a rifle that you protect yourself and your family with. And I'll tell you guys, one of the reasons why I run fixed front sights, or at least locking sights, I always run a fixed front. But one of the reasons why I have this is because it's very easy to bump these sights if you're going through a doorway, going and passing around furniture, passing around other people. In fact, I've seen many students when we do our room clearing classes with rifles and things, they have bumped their iron sights on something, or they even bumped it on the sling can come over and flip it down, and then they didn't have sights. So if you're going to do this, I recommend a fixed front, and you know, preferably a fixed rear, at least certainly a locking rear on your rifle if that's your preference, because I can certainly use this dot and use the irons at the exact same time. What we're trying to do is pass on, you know, fail-safe points for you, right? We're trying to pass on quality information, you know, it's going to help protect you and your family and your life without spending a bunch of money. All the rifles that I just showed you guys, all under $1,000. All of these rifles are under $1,000. All right, so you don't have to spend an entire fortune on them, but you're gonna spend probably $1,000, maybe $1,500 on a quality rifle. You know, that's typically where our price point is now. Long time, many years ago, I did one. You can spend about $800 to get a quality rifle, but we're building back better. So you know, it's up to 20% premium upgrade on that. And I'll tell you one final point if you need to think about something when it comes to a lighter rifle. Not only does this fatigue us less, not only does this increase the handiness of the rifle, but for people with physical issues like shoulder issues, neck issues, people that may be even missing limbs. We've taught students with missing limbs too. So one thing you want to consider is those people out there that are physically challenged when it comes to injuries or strength even. Sometimes women, you know, they will benefit much better for a lighter rifle like the ones that I showed you. This one's exceptionally light too. This one's just over 7 pounds. So this would be useful for women as well, or even older people that don't necessarily have the strength. Because if you guys are out there teaching stuff where strength is required, or that you have to be 26 years old in the physical prime of your life, and you're teaching techniques out there that's a thing, you may want to reevaluate your life, because not everybody's in their physical prime when they're 25 and 26. Not everybody's, you know, a major athlete. Not everybody can go to the gym and do 500-pound deadlifts. Not everybody can go to the gym and bench press 350, 400 pounds. Not everybody can do that. And if you can do that now, you probably won't be able to do it in 40 or 50 years. So your technique should have nothing to do with strength. It should have everything to do with proper balance, proper technique, proper shooting plan, being able to teach things that work for people across the board, and enabling them to protect themselves and their family. So those are my ideas, guys. I want to give you good information about what a good rifle can do. You want to keep it as light as you can. You want to have as few stings on there as you can. If you want to, as I said, set it up. If you want an optic on there, whether that's a red dot, fixed power, variable power, whatever, but you still want to have those irons on there just in case your optic fails because it gets shot, or because gravel hits it, or because it fogs out, or any of those things. You want to make sure that you have iron sights on there, and that way when the optic fails, you're at least able to still use it with good old-fashioned geometry. If you found the information in the video helpful, follow me on social media. That link is down below. And if you want to learn more on how to use your rifle to protect yourself and your family, come on out to Valor Ridge and we can help you. This is Reed Hendricks with Valor Ridge reminding you the lessons that we learn are written on the tombstones of others. We'll see you on the ridge.